One of the biggest questions that we get from our community is this: do I really need a lawyer when I'm buying a property in Spain? Today I'm joined by Elena from Martínez-Echevarria, who's going to help us unpack just that question, what the law says, what she sees on the ground every day from her professional experience, and the biggest legal mistakes that foreign buyers often make. This is your legal roadmap.
Welcome to the Costa Property Podcast, the podcast that turns your dreams of owning a piece of paradise on the Costa del Sol into reality. I'm Warner Laurie, and I'm joined by my co-host and wife, Sandra Laurie.
Join us as we embark on navigating the ins and outs of real estate and relocation to this beautiful region.
We're not just about market trends, we're about sharing real-life experiences, because we know the struggle firsthand, and I've helped many people navigate this challenge also.
If you're dreaming of your perfect Costa del Sol home and want to get real, no-frills, expert advice, then you're absolutely in the right place. Join us each week as we share honest insights and information that will guide your journey. Do you really need a lawyer to buy a property in Spain? Do you know that this is one of the most commonly asked questions from our community? So today we're going to spend some time and really unpack that question. I am joined by the wonderful Elena from Martínez-Echevarria legal firm, who are one of the top legal firms here on the Costa del Sol. And she's going to support me in helping you to really unpick that very question. Welcome, Elena.
Thank you very much, Sandra.
You look beautiful. I'm so happy to have you here with us today. So you've had a busy morning.
Yes.
All go.
Yes.
Busy. So
as always. Now here we are.
Fantastic. So thank you for taking some time
You're
out of your
welcome.
busy schedule. I know you're a busy lady for joining me here today. And we're really going to dive into some of the questions that our followers have around using a lawyer in Spain. And the first question that I always get, Elena, from our followers is this one. It's a big one. So do you actually really need a lawyer when you're buying a property in Spain? Legally, are you required to have one?
If you talk about legally, it's not necessary legally to hire a lawyer in Spain. You can buy a property without any lawyer. You can do it on your own, and there is no legal problem with it. However, we highly recommend the client, other people that are planning to buy a property in Spain, that they should hire a lawyer. Why? Because of course you can buy a property without any help, but a lawyer could help you know if there is any urbanistic problem in the property, if there is any encumbrances, liens, or something that charge on the property, and at the end, and in the future, when you become the owner of this property, you will have maybe some problems with this kind of issues. Another thing that we help the clients in is in the searches in the community of owners. The problems that may be in the community of owners, for example, occupants or disruptive noises that for someone could be very important. A very big fee or cost extra on the ordinary fees in the community of owners. There are some buildings that are very old and they need to make some renovations or maintenance, and sometimes they have to make a very big expenses. So in these things is where we can help the clients.
You're right. It's a big question. And as you say, you don't legally need to have a lawyer. But I think it's important for our listeners, especially as international buyers,
Exactly.
who are buying a property in a country where
Correct.
they don't know the law.
Exactly.
They don't know the language. They don't know the common practices. It's natural that they should always use a lawyer when buying a property in Spain, for example, because as you correctly say, that you're there to support them with challenges that may be occurring in the community. You're doing due diligence for them and running the correct checks to ensure that they don't run into any problems or have any difficulties further down the line, right? So look, the answer to that question is you legally don't need to, but we highly recommend it, right? And we work together.
Especially in foreign people.
Of course.
Because of the language and the legal points that they may not know in Spain. Because maybe the process in their country is different.
That's it. And you're there on their side, somebody impartial to guide them and protect them.
Exactly.
So it's a sensible thing to do. And we work together often, right? And when we have clients that choose to work with us at WL Costa Properties, we always, as one of the first steps, recommend them to use a lawyer and make an introduction to yourselves so that they can move forward with clarity and peace of mind.
Exactly.
To know that there's going to be no hidden surprises or bad experiences further down the line, right? So what exactly does a property lawyer in Spain do for their clients?
Well, we guide the clients from the beginning of the process until the end. The first step in which we help them is in the reservation. From the beginning, we always recommend that they don't pay anything before we can see at least the draft of the reservation document.
Sure.
It's a very simple document, the reservation document, but at the end is very important because then in that document we can reflect all the important things that in the future will guide the process of the purchase.
Sure.
For example, if someone wants the property to rent in short-term rental, nowadays the law has made a lot of changes in that sense, and we always want to take care of this point. We, for example, in the reservation, we can subject the reservation to the possibility to obtain this kind of license.
Exactly, because that's a really hot topic right now.
Because it's not something that legally has to have a property.
Sure.
As a seller can sell a property and maybe you find out that it's not possible to obtain this license, but it's not illegal. But if there is someone that wants to invest in that sense and want to make a short-term rental, we want to take care of him and be sure that in the future it could be possible.
Absolutely. And that's a very important topic right now because, as you say, there's been changes recently. Things have changed, and it's very important that that particular point, as you say, is reflected in the reservation agreement so that the buyer of the property is protected. Because at the end of the day, and I'm not giving real estate agents any bad reputation, we are real estate agents ourselves, but the real estate agent may say to the buyer, yes, the short-term rentals are totally possible. And then further down the line, they find that their plan isn't possible. So you're supporting and protecting the buyer all of the time to ensure that they get what they want in a way that's possible for them, which is a great peace of mind. Thank you, Elena. So in your opinion, Elena, why is it so important to have a lawyer as a foreigner who's purchasing in Spain?
Well, for the things that we have been talking before, it's important to know, for example, that the urbanistic situation of the property is correct. There is people, not only foreigners, also Spanish people, who think that they can purchase a property without any help. But sometimes they miss these kind of things. For example, to ask for a first occupation license. In Spanish, it's called licencia de primera ocupación. This license gives the safety to the people that the property is correct from the point of view of the urbanistic planning. What means that a property doesn't have this license? If it's an old property before 1986, it doesn't, maybe it's not a problem, but in case that it's from that year in advance, it could mean that there is some urbanistic problem with the property. And maybe the construction, it's not done as per the construction license, and there could be future problems.
Exactly.
Sanctions, or maybe this make that the buyer cannot make any new construction in the property, reformations or construction of maintenance or something like this. Because the town hall doesn't allow some properties that are not regular to make any kind of new constructions. So, for example, this is something that is important.
Absolutely, and we see that a lot, particularly in older properties where maybe the old owner has extended the property
without
by
license.
Correct. And then you find that they think the property is worth more because it's larger, but actually it's not on the plans. So
it's not registered in the land registry.
Exactly. So that's advice that the new buyer won't know that you're able to support them with and make sure their property is fully legal. But I'm always really curious about this question because, as you say, often in Spain, Spanish people may not use a lawyer, and it doesn't seem to be the common thing that Spanish people use a lawyer all of the time. And this is where our clients get confused because
And why?
yeah, because they're like, well, why do I need one if Spanish people don't need one? But I think people have to think sensibly about this. You're in a new country with new laws,
Exactly.
with a new language, where cultures are different, where the law is different. Why would you expose yourself and put yourself in a difficult situation? Just hire a lawyer. Yeah.
And the language is another thing that is very important. Usually the contracts are written in Spanish. So if a client hires us as a lawyer, we are going to make the documents in the language of this person. In my case, it's in English, but in our law firm, we have people who help us with different languages. We have Swedish people, French, Finnish, Polish. So we give the clients these contracts in their language, so they can understand everything and they don't have questions
Of course.
and problems with these kind of things. Another thing is that public offices in Spain to pay taxes, the notary, they usually work in Spanish. So we help a lot the clients in the translation, not only in written, but also at the notaries, the translation in presence of the notary, because there are notaries that don't speak English,
Yes.
and the clients need to have someone who translate
Yes.
the document that they are going to sign in front of him.
Yes.
So we can help the clients in this sense.
Absolutely. So it just provides that excellent service, peace of mind for the client so that they know what's going on, right, every step of the way. So, Elena, when somebody's choosing a lawyer, is there any red flags that you would tell them to look out for or things that they should think about when they're making their choice?
Well, maybe I could say two things. One is that they can check reviews, maybe available in internet. For example, in our case, our clients can check in Expansión Jurídico that we are in a rank of law firms in Andalucía. We are in the top 1 and the 14th in Spain.
Amazing.
For example, it's possible that they are more relaxed,
Sure.
knowing that we are in a good position in this sense. The other thing maybe could be what services are included in the legal fees.
Yes.
Because in our case, for example, we have a standard legal fee in which we include everything from the first meeting that we have with the client, obtain the NIE number, which is very important for all the people who wants to buy in Spain and sell, is the tax number to pay taxes. We help in the whole process from the reservation until due diligence, the private contract, and then the completion, assisting them at the notary in case that they cannot come at that day, or in case that they come, we also go with them in front of the notary to help them in the whole process. Also, the after-sales process, we take care of the matriculation of the property, pay the taxes, hire the utilities, the electricity, water, all of these things, we can do it. And all of these things are included in our standard legal fee. I know that there are other law firms that maybe they charge different amounts for each task. So maybe it's something that they have to take into account.
Yeah, good advice. Also, I think that the person needs to think about their long-term plans and the services that they need. So they may need some immigration support, taxation support. And one of the things that we like about working together with your firm is that you're able to offer the clients all of those services from A to Z, because in reality, nobody wants to be using multiple different law firms to handle all of their personal affairs. It makes it easy.
We can provide this service.
Exactly.
The whole areas of the law.
Exactly. So everything from starting your immigration journey to Spain, from visa support and advice, to property purchasing.
Touristic license.
Exactly. To taxation when they eventually make their big move to Spain, because that's important, right? So I like that. And I think it's a great benefit for clients because it's so convenient. And, also I think it's important that when a client is being referred to a legal firm by a real estate agent like ourselves, we're only going to refer you to the best. So it's important to listen to your trusted real estate agent too, and ask and take into account their recommendations regarding who they're referring you to, because using a good law firm makes the real estate agent's life a lot easier too, right? So fantastic. Elena, what would be your best advice to somebody who's just starting the process to buy their property in Spain?
Well, I think that the first step is to hire the best real estate agency, which in that case could be you perfectly. And then when they have chosen their property, which it will be amazing, I'm sure, then I highly recommend to hire a lawyer and relax.
Yeah.
And trust us because we know what we are doing. We make a lot of purchases in the year. We have contacts. We have trust notaries, trust architects. We know to who we have to recommend each client in each case. They have to trust us and know that everything is under control. We are checking everything, and they are going to be sure that everything will end perfect with the purchase.
Amazing advice. So pick the best lawyer, in this case Elena and her team, and sit back and relax. So there you have it, the big question answered, why you really need a lawyer when you're buying a property in Spain as a foreigner. We hope you've enjoyed our discussion today. Thank you, Elena.
Thank you, Sandra.
And thank you for stopping by. Now, if you're listening to this episode, I really hope that it has cleared things up for you or raised even more questions. If it has, you absolutely know where to find us. As always, you can reach out to us at www.wlcostaproperties.net to book in with a free consultation with us, or just drop us a DM over on Instagram, Facebook, or reach out on LinkedIn. We're always happy to chat. We are always happy to help you connect with experts like Elena and move forward with confidence as you pursue your dream of owning your piece of paradise along the Costa del Sol.